Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dynamic Show, where we remind you what life can be like, aligning with your dynamic well-being every day. That is why the day in dynamics is capitalized, as embracing your dynamic nature is a daily choice. I'm Mariana, your guide on today's journey. First, thank you so much for being with us. And know there is a reason that you have landed here. So welcome. It's all part of your journey to find your balance on the subject that we're talking about today. There's no one-size-fits-all path. Be what serves you. Be your dynamic self. Tune in and let's be dynamic by design. We're going to do a fundamentals recording because it's the start of 2025, and we're going to explore the subject of aligning with yourself, the aligning of you with your soul's journey, with your life path, and what that means, and answer some questions that have come up. We wrote a blog, actually, that came out at the beginning of the year, and it was entitled, I believe, Aligning with You, like aligning with yourself. And then there were so many questions and discussions and direct messages and emails and stuff that came out of that. So we are having a second Aligning You Part 2 that will answer some of those questions and just elaborate a little bit more on what that could look like for you and what that does look like if you choose to use our resources. We really want to focus 2025 on your own self-journey, all of our own self-journey. Now, that doesn't mean we're selfish. That just means that we are focusing on what serves us best first, and then we can move forward to how that can then serve others as well. Because we all know that if we're not aligning with our own well-being first, what are we actually really giving to anyone else? So let's embrace this and let's start. One of the questions that came up right away with aligning you is that we use definitions in our resources. And why do we do this? It's also going to be on our blog. So if you want to read some of this instead of listen, then please do dynamicseries.com and then just go to multimedia and blogs. I think sometimes the way we, not we meaning dynamic series, but we as a person, define a certain word or think we know what it means, can either be really spot on or just off a bit. Where do we pick up what a word actually means? Like, was it from an influencer in your life? Or was it that you actually looked it up in the dictionary yourself? Or whether you've altered it a little bit to make it work for what serves you? I'm not sure. That's a personal question, but that is why we use a dictionary definitions, because it's a base, it's a starting point. Then you can decide how you may need to adjust, not even how you look at a word, but how you would like to look at it. Because let me tell you, looking up the different definitions, because we do a book definition, we do dictionary, and then we do different online dictionaries. And they can vary. Like, I think some of the basic wording is the same, but they can vary depending, again, if it's a noun or a verb or a pronoun or however something as it relates to a person. And in dynamics, I mean, that's what I had to look at, because the dynamics talks about force and this and that. But when you look at it of a person, and you can look up that definition, the full one, again, on our website, dynamicseries.com, in dynamics, and it'll tell you everything that we found about it and the history of it. what the actual definition was, and then as it relates to as a person is a total variation of it. So that's what we're talking about. We start with a basic definition, and then you have to work from there to see how it relates to you best. And then the words that we define when it comes to ourselves, that's a whole different vibration. That's a whole different level. It's like, how are you defining yourself? Like, how do you do your self-talk? We've done blogs and podcasts on that. Again, the definition and how you define something may need to be clarified or altered based on if it's serving you or not, or if it feels good or not. How you define something, including yourself, then becomes your belief, which in turn becomes your energy and the vibe that you have. And then you attract the people and situations to you to prove to you that it's true. That doesn't mean it's true. It just means that I will find ways to find myself right, what I believe. I'll find the ways to confirm that that's right, but it doesn't mean it's overall right or the right definition. So when it comes to definitions, you can now look at a word and go, do I really know what that means? And if it's important enough to you, you will do the research. That's enough about definitions. If you are defining something, again, get clarity if it's not feeling right, so you can change your perception, and therefore changing your perception and changing your energy can ultimately change your life. Question number 2 that came up. Everyone walks a unique path. Like, that's one of the things that we put on there is like, you have a life path, you have your own soul's journey, and it is unique for everybody. Like, no two journeys are the same. Your experiences and your preference and your choices and your beliefs and your decisions, they all shape your being that you are today. And all those choices, experiences, preference, beliefs, all that stuff will affect who you become. Now, understanding there is only the here and now. We refer to the past, we refer to the future, but all your power is in the now. Understand that not only you are walking a unique life path and your soul's journey, wanting to experiencing things in this physical life, so is everybody else's. And when you look at life from this perspective, you can just see the bigger picture for not only yourself, but for others. It's like, oh yeah, they're walking their path. It wouldn't be a choice I made maybe, but it's their path. I don't know what's in their path. I don't know what's on their journey. Sometimes it's really good just to focus on your own, sort of mind your own business when it comes to people's life path and the choices and stuff that they're making. And just as you guys co-create and intertwine with anyone else, just go, oh yeah, if you're not understanding what's happening or why they're making the choices or what's unfolding for them, it's just like, oh, that's their life path. That's their journey. They came to experience and learn and understand and evolve in their own way. And so who do I want to be in mine, and respecting who they want to be in theirs? So thank you for that question that came up with aligning with you. Another question that came up, or conversation, this was more about a conversation, is my life path really dynamic? Because dynamic to some people, again, means something totally different. And that's why in the website, when we define it, and we defined it in the blog, like I said, in the history and stuff of it, is, yes, your life path is dynamic. Because I had to re-educate myself about what dynamic and dynamics were, like I said, as it relates to a person. Positive in attitude, full of energy, new ideas, constantly changing and growing, full of potential, always becoming something. We are always becoming something because we be in this here and now. We are being in this here and now. So we're always becoming something. So what do you want to become? So we know that we're evolving in every choice, in every moment, in every idea, in every potential. Yes, your life is dynamic as it relates to the definition of as it relates to as a person. Living a dynamic life is really about being who you want to be, being authentically you, being, again, that full of potential and energy and new ideas and growing and evolving and stuff. Like, we're doing that anyway. It's really just important to honor where you are in your journey and in your life path. Whether you want to define it as dynamic or not, really up to you. But when you look at it that way, or you thrive to be more dynamic, then that gives you something to look forward to, something to unfold. Oh, how can I be dynamic today? How can my life be more dynamic? How can I see myself as dynamic during this soul's journey and life path? But you are so beautiful, and you're so authentic, and you're so uniquely you. Like, there is no one else like you. Like, how precious is that? Your energy, cells of your being, the DNA, all of that stuff is uniquely you. Like, that is such a gift. Treasure it. It is a precious thing. The next conversation piece that came up was, what should I be calling into my life and why? Well, anything that serves you. I mean, that's a good start. It's going to change all the time. I mean, and we're constantly asking every day whether we know it or not. When we see something we like, we're like, yeah, I want more of that. If we see something we don't like or experience, then you want the difference of that. You want something different that feels better to you and that aligns more with you. So what should you be calling into your life? Could be a clarifying question for you as well. You know, is it a person, place, or thing, or a feeling that you want to call into your life? And why? You can't always answer the why, but you do sort of know from a feeling perspective why you would want something to be called into your life. Like, why do you want it? How would it feel having it? What would you need to adjust and align to allow it into your life? They're good questions to ask. And we did a vehicle video on a new perspective on goals. That's on our YouTube channel. Again, dynamicseries.com, multimedia, YouTube, and then go into the vehicle videos. I think it could be very helpful as to answering sometimes the why, because it came from Mind Valley when I was doing a course, and it was just like, why do you want it? Okay, because of this. Well, why do you want that? Because of what? It kept going down to the why, to the fact where it's just like, then you get to the core of why you really want something. So it was a really interesting thing of, why do I want it, and why would I be calling it into my life? Sometimes those calling it into someone's life could be that it's just been a habit or a belief or a pattern, and it just feels comfortable. It's a known versus the unknown. So sometimes calling that into your life is just, it's more feeling familiar, instead of going to that other place where it might be unknown for a while. And we did, I believe it was a podcast or blog on that, and it was just like the familiar to the unfamiliar to the familiar again, and the spaces in between all those, which can feel a little uneasy sometimes, because the mind and the body often want to go to what feels, I'm not going to say normal, but what feels familiar. check out those other blogs or podcasts if you want as well. So how are you making out so far in these questions? How are you making out so far in these conversations? Is it resonating with you? Is it something that you need to ponder a little bit more? Some of these things look more into. I mean, again, the power is here and now. So you can make a choice here and now. You just have to support that choice that you're making here and now to make a change that is better for you, that serves you now as you continue to evolve. We always love when you send us some feedback or send us, or in our contact form or on social media, some feedback of what you are experiencing when it comes to what comes up in some of our podcasts. Because we always say, and we did change our verbiage, we used to say, if it resonates with you, great. If it evokes more thought, great. If it sparks disagreement, great. If it triggers introspection, great. Embrace it all. It's all part of the journey. It's all part of your path to find some balance around the subject. Really, it is about aligning you and what you want, being the unique person that you are. We had another great discussion. There was a group of us on a chat about this, and basically I worded it as, what is your view on helping others? Now, we're not talking about just like, I need help with the dishes, or I need help to build something, or I need help. Like, this was based off of like helping and healing another versus just that, like I said, random, like, can you help me paint, or can you help me do something like that? This is like more of a deeper helping, healing. And we ended up talking about the questions that come up around that. And again, maybe needing more clarity, like, has someone asked for help? What kind of help? I mean, are you equipped to help them? Are you in a good place to help give advice or help give support or help whatever help they want? Are you helping them from, this is what I would do? Or are you helping from what kind of support do you need? What kind of help do you actually need? Do you just need me to listen? Do you need me to repeat back what you're saying to me so you know you're heard? Do you need physical help, meaning like a healing session or Reiki or biofeedback, or something that's going to help different levels, mind, body, spirit, soul, all that stuff, that kind of help? It's always an inside job. So even if you are in whatever means helping another, that still means that they have to be willing to help themselves. It's just like being a Reiki master and people saying that, well, I'd like a session because I need you to heal me. And I always say, I can't heal you. You have to heal yourself. I just give you tools and opportunity for you to raise your vibe and align with energy that will allow what you're asking for to come through. Whether that's, again, a change of perspective or a change of energy, whatever that might be, but it's still something, whatever they had resistance on needs to be released. Anyone that says that they can heal you, you may just want to clarify that, because that seems to me, and I'm sure I'll get feedback on this, but that's okay, more of an ego thing, like, come to me, I can heal you. No, we co-create everything. So I have to allow you, I have to allow someone that's trying to help me, but I have to make that choice that it's okay. And the other thing that came up around helping someone is that it's not our job to change someone else's journey or path. Now, let me clarify that, meaning that we can offer support and influence and love and light and blessings and stuff along the way, but, and I'll use me as an example, it's not my responsibility to change someone's path on things that they are supposed to experience in this life. I can support them as they go through, but that's why we created Kid Dynamics too, is we all have our unique path. That includes kids. And yes, to support them, align them, direct them, educate them along the way, of course, but they still have their own unique path with things that they need to go through or wanted to go through. For those that believe that we did make some pre-choices before we came into this physical body on what we did want to experience. Asking how someone else needs help instead of just trying to fix them is better than trying to just alter their course over through control and do it because I say to do it, or this is what I would do. Well, that opinion is still great if it's being asked, like, oh, what would you do in this situation? Perfect. But that doesn't mean, I think most of the times when I've asked someone that and they've told me, it's just a barometer. It's just a mirror that goes, okay, yeah, that resonates with me or it doesn't. So, that could go either way. If you think about how much time you've put into helping others on their path, when really within yourself you need to do some adjusting and some healing and some focus and some realignment. Sometimes people asking for help is just a reminder too that you need to do some work on your own self. Figure that out. Every situation will be different, but it was a really good conversation and discussion on the view of helping others. We can have complete compassion for others and what they're going through, but knowing it's a life path of everybody, it's their own soul's journey, sort of takes away any big responsibility of that, but you could still be there in other ways for them. And around that same topic is comparing yourself to others' paths. Because sometimes we do compare or relate ourselves and even wonder why their path looks different, either better or worse. And the truth is that every person's journey is designed specifically for them, just as yours is designed for you. And how freeing is knowing that, especially as a parent sometimes, it's like you feel such responsibility. And that never goes away, I don't think, as a parent. Protection, responsibility, support, love, all of those things, or even relationships of any kind in your life. Sometimes I've got too involved and sort of maybe want to micromanage. I have to just step back and go, they have a life path, they have a soul's journey, they're wanting to experience whatever they're experiencing for whatever reason. Let them do what they do. So when 2025 came around and most people are doing New Year, New Me experience, we're more like, you can be new you at any moment and any time of the year. You just have to focus differently at any time throughout your life. But we want to make it more of a, you can align with you and your life path, soul's journey. Like that is more beneficial than this hype that, in a few months just may go down the drain. Just make choices along the way that will support your unique journey, your unique life path, your preferences. We have, so many tools to assist your path, like preference check-ins and alignment pause and gratitude, and just go and check all of our resources on our website, because I think that in itself just offers the opportunity and the option, should you want to take it and find out what life could be like and can be like living dynamically. So thank you for joining us today. We are hoping that some things did resonate with you, that it will evoke more thought. You will want to find the balance. So we challenge you right now to share this show with someone or any of our other recordings to continue the discussion that you may feel would find value. Because we don't advertise. We don't go out there and go, oh, look at us. We just put the stuff out there, and the people that find it, find it. And most of that is just people sharing our content. And we do appreciate that. So we have more compelling shows coming up and some great past recordings. dynamicshow.info or dynamicseries.com/podcast. And as we mentioned earlier, if you want to read a defined definition on dynamic, even though we did go over it a little bit more, again, just check it out on the website. Oh, and I do need to add, all material are copyrighted and are for informational purposes. So until we meet again, thank you for listening. Make 2025 be whatever you want it to be. But for today, make it a dynamic day. Thanks so much.